It started with Uno. No, seriously. Uno and a couple of beers with my buddies on a Saturday night. We laughed a bit, maybe got a little too into a round of Monopoly once. Someone may have flipped the board, I won't name names, but that was it. No loud music, no parties, no fireworks, just weekend game nights to keep our sanity after working all week. But Karen from 3 houses down, she made it her full-time mission to obliterate every ounce of joy from the neighborhood, like she was on contract from the Department of Misery. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama. Karen filed a noise complaint every time she heard a sneeze past 8 p.m. Called the HOA to report suspicious gatherings like we were plotting to overthrow the government with settlers of Catan. She even tried to get my house labeled a party venue because someone dared to bring a folding chair. It wasn't just annoying, it was surgical. HOA notices came flying in like spam mail, and every petty violation stacked up. Lawn too long by 0.6 inches, garage door open for more than 10 minutes, mailbox wasn't regulation beige. I checked the bylaws, none of it was even real. Karen was the bylaws. The final straw? Karen dragged my 80-year-old neighbor into one of her complaints because he smiled too loudly on his way to my game night. The man has hearing aids and a pacemaker, and she dragged him in front of the board like he was a nightclub bouncer. So I went quiet. Canceled game nights. Let her think she won. Even smiled and waved as she smugly power-walked by in her matching tracksuit and HOA embroidered visor. But behind that wave, I was already 5 steps ahead. Because what Karen didn't know was that I wasn't just the guy who plays Scrabble too loud. I was the majority shareholder of the development firm bidding to buy land across the county, including hers. See, when you push a man too far over Uno, you better be ready for war. And I wasn't bringing cards to this one. Step 1, I bought the lot next to Karen's house. Cash. No permits, no flags, no fuss. Just a silent transaction through a shell company named K Enterprises. She didn't suspect a thing, thought it was some tech bro building a Tesla charging station or a bird sanctuary. Cute. Step 2, I bought the entire row behind her house, 8 lots total. Then the strip mall across the street, the abandoned gas station, and the ugly dentist's office that's been drilling cavities since the Cold War. In under 3 months, I legally owned more square footage than her gossip-filled mouth had insulted in a lifetime. I waited until the HOA's annual meeting to drop the hammer. Karen sat front and center with her stupid sparkly pen, ready to hand out citations like Halloween candy. That's when I walked in with a giant presentation board labeled, "Shh, Community Improvements." Slide 1, aerial map with red dots. Karen's house in the dead center. Every property I'd bought glowed around it like a target. Slide 2, architectural renderings, neon lights, rooftop stage, subwoofers. Slide 3, the name, club volume. She choked on her cucumber water. "You can't put that here," she stammered. "This is a residential neighborhood." "Oh, Karen," I said with a grin. "It was. I changed the zoning last week. Turns out when you own the county board's favorite golf course, people listen." Cue panic. Karen's face turned shades of red I didn't know existed. She demanded an emergency vote. Too bad the HOA had no jurisdiction over commercial zones. She tried calling the county commissioner. I handed her a signed photo of us shaking hands at a charity gala. She ran out screaming something about lawsuits and migraines. Meanwhile, the board clapped. Turns out half of them hated her too. Construction began immediately, bulldozers at 6 a.m. Club volume wasn't going to be subtle. Every brick, every light, every speaker was designed with Karen in mind. Soundproofing? Nope. Subsonic bass that vibrates her herbal tea off the counter? Absolutely. Still, she fought. Flyers. Petitions. She even started a Save Our Streets Facebook group with one member, her. But I wasn't done yet. Because the club, that was just the appetizer. I had a 3-course revenge meal cooking, and Karen was about to choke on the main dish. Opening night of Club Volume wasn't just a party. It was a seismic event. We had pyrotechnics, a hologram DJ, and a mechanical bull in a glitter cage. People drove in from 3 counties away just to see the madness. By 8 p.m., the parking lot was full. By 9, the line wrapped around Karen's manicured lawn like a boa constrictor. At 10 p.m. sharp, the bass dropped, and Karen's windows rattled like a poltergeist had moved in. Every light in her house flicked on, and then she appeared. Pajama robe, curlers, and fury. She marched over, flailing her arms like she was landing a plane. "This is harassment. This is a hate crime against peace and order," she shrieked, pointing at a disco ball the size of her ego. I leaned over the velvet rope and calmly said, "Karen, if you're that bothered, you could always move. There's a nice place across town next to a landfill." She stormed off. 10 minutes later, the cops arrived. Karen had called in a riot. But guess what? I'd already cleared everything: permits, sound limits, fire safety, even parking overflow. The officers stepped in, took one look around, spotted a city council member in the VIP lounge, and left with party favors. Karen watched from her porch as they fist bumped the bartender. Still, she tried harder. She filed 12 noise complaints in 2 weeks, got a lawyer who looked like he hadn't won a case since MySpace was relevant, and plastered "club volume equals crime" signs all over the street. I had the signs replaced with LED screens that displayed live footage of Karen's angry face mid-scream on a loop, labeled "Party Crasher of the Month." Her meltdown reached nuclear levels when I sponsored a citywide music festival called Bass and Brunch, headlined by DJs spinning EDM remixes of HOA bylaws. Karen lost it. She started petitioning the state, the governor, even the Department of Transportation. Don't ask me why. She held a candlelight vigil for the death of suburban decency. Only 2 people showed up. Both just wanted directions to the club. But here's the twist. While Karen raged, I was quietly buying up the final piece of land she didn't know was for sale, the tiny green belt directly behind her house. Because the next phase of revenge, that was going to shake her world to the core. The moment that Greenbelt cleared escrow, I pulled the trigger on phase 2. Club volume, after hours. A 24-hour rooftop lounge complete with sky lasers, a flamethrower bar, and synchronized drones that spelled out, "Hey Karen," every night at 2 a.m. It butted up directly to her backyard. No buffer, no fence, just beats, bass, and bottle service 10 feet from her prized koi pond. The minute she saw the construction sign, she fainted in her driveway. I had it on camera, twice. Her HOA presidency collapsed faster than her herbal anti-anxiety empire. Residents began resigning from the board. Cheryl from Lot 9, once a loyal Karen cultist, defected and started hosting poker nights at the club. Even Rick, Karen's long-suffering husband, filed for divorce and moved into the DJ's guest house. Said he finally felt alive again. Karen, meanwhile, was spiraling. She installed blackout curtains that have noise-canceling windows, and even tried building a wall of potted plants. But you can't fight subwoofers with succulents. Desperate, she invited reporters to her home for an exclusive expose about her harassment. I let them in personally, with bottle service and a club volume VIP pass. Every journalist walked out with merch and free drink tokens. The headlines? Local woman declares war on fun. HOA tyrant loses to tech millionaire. And my favorite? Karen gets clubbed. Still not satisfied, Karen filed a last-ditch lawsuit claiming emotional damage, sound trauma, and loss of community standing. In court, she brought charts, decibel readings, and even a slideshow of her stress rash. My lawyer calmly responded by playing drone footage of Karen screaming at a piñata during Cinco de Mayo night. The jury laughed. The judge dismissed it in under 5 minutes and awarded me legal fees. Karen had to sign the check with shaking hands while my attorney hummed the club's theme song. The cherry on top? I converted her old HOA office into a neon-lit karaoke bar and named it Karen Oak. Her face, blown up to mural size, smiles over the bar with the caption, "She asked for quiet. We gave her a legacy." Tourists take selfies there now. Some even dress as her for Halloween. So next time someone complains about your harmless fun, just remember, pettiness is power, and revenge is best served with bass drops and a laser show. Karen wanted control. What she got was a front row seat to her own downfall with bottle service. The end.